I know this is not the usual stuff that I do, but this is something that I really wanted to talk about because I'm really passionate about it. Dragon Ball. So, in case you didn't know, on January there was an event where it was announced that Dragon Ball was gonna come back, but not as people expected. Yes, the Moro arc that comes after what you know of Dragon Ball Super is gonna finally get animated after so long, but that's not what comes first. We're first gonna see a remake of all of the arcs we saw in Dragon Ball Super. We're also gonna see Frieza, we're gonna see Universe 7 versus 6, Goku Black, and Tournament of Power again. I wanted to talk about this because I've seen that a lot of people are saying that this is unnecessary and just a waste of time, and I disagree. For the simple fact that Dragon Ball Super sucks. Let's not lie to ourselves here. I am a huge Dragon Ball fan. I love everything about Dragon Ball. I am obsessed with it and it's my favorite franchise ever, but Dragon Ball Super fucking sucks. I feel like the Tournament of Power arc has tricked most of you into thinking that Dragon Ball Super was really great, when in reality, that arc was the only good arc in Super in my opinion. It had great fights and it was beautifully animated too. Mostly in the last episodes. But just because the last arc was good doesn't mean it saves the anime as a whole. Not only was the animation terrible, for most of the time at least, but you can also notice that there's a lot of inconsistencies, just things that don't make any sense. I'm looking at you. Because what happens is that when Dragon Ball Super was being made, it wasn't adapting the manga. As a matter of fact, the manga was coming either at the same time as some of the arcs or after they were animated. Because Akira Toriyama only left notes for them to base the anime and the manga from. Toyotaro, who does the manga, did one thing, but then Toei Animation, the company that's in charge of making the anime, did something else. Let's just say they put a lot of shit out of nowhere. Let me give you a pretty simple example. Super Saiyan God. The first new transformation we ever saw in Super was barely used. It only appeared in the first arc and then it was never seen again until like in the half of the Tournament of Power arc. But in the manga, they actually use it in a pretty cool way because Super Saiyan Blue is a transformation that takes a lot of energy, so they go from red to blue, red to blue, red to blue, so that they can save as much energy as they can and fight more effectively, which is a concept that I think is really cool, but it was never used in the anime. And then when the Broly movie came out, a lot of people were confused when they saw Vegeta using God, like where the hell did this come from? But those people don't realize it's always been like that. And that's just the surface. There's a lot of other inconsistencies. Not only that, but the filler was garbage. There's a lot of filler in Super and none of it is good. It's terrible.
What the fuck is this?
So imagine if you're someone who's new to Dragon Ball and they start watching Super to get ready for the new arc, and then they have to put up with all the bullshit that Toei made up. It's just gonna make it confusing and a lot of things are not gonna make sense. So we get a first impression of what the remake is gonna look like, and for the looks of it, it looks amazing. Like yeah, the art style is basically the same, but they do remake a lot of the action scenes. Like yes, they reuse some drawings, but some other ones they do from scratch. Like for example, this scene right here when you see Gohan and the other people covering themselves when Goku's transforming, is the same drawings, but for minimal things like that, I don't care. It's more like for important scenes, like when Vegeta gets angry at Beerus for hitting Bulma. That one, it's clearly done from scratch, and Goku Super Saiyan 3, and it looks beautiful, and that's what I wanted. Because it was so painful to me that for so long, the only thing we had was just Super, and it's just unwatchable in my opinion. So the fact that we're finally gonna get a better animated, better paced, because the Beerus saga is only gonna be like half the duration of the original one, because they're gonna cut a lot of filler and bullshit that has nothing to do with the main story, and more concise version of Super is just a W. I'm sorry, like how can you not like this? It's perfect. And honestly, I am more than willing to wait. I don't give a shit. I am so hungry for Dragon Ball content that I'm gonna watch anything, and the fact that what we're gonna watch is gonna be genuinely good, perfect. I have no complaints. So I know that a lot of people are gonna ask me for examples or whatever, so here it is. I'm gonna give you some examples of what I want to see and what I don't want to see in the remake. What do I want to see? I want to see more of the Super Saiyan God. I don't know why, but specifically Vegeta's Super Saiyan God design has always looked really cool to me. It's actually one of my mains since Barking Zero. Nope. looks pretty cool. I wanna see more of it. More Goku and Vegeta God. That's number 1. 2, I wanna see more brutal fights. I wanna feel the punches through the fucking screen. I wanna see blood. I wanna see violence. That's what I want from Dragon Ball. So please, no censoring, no bullshit, give me everything, okay? Stop trying to appeal to children. Bro, most Dragon Ball fans nowadays are gotta be like 30 or 40. So no censoring. Number 3, I want to see Gohan versus Kefla. I know that everyone loved when Goku did the sliding Kamehameha. It was pretty cool. I gotta admit so myself. But I really want to see Gohan get more in Super. I really like the Gohan versus Kefla fight because it goes back to one of the main concepts that Dragon Ball had that they seem to have abandoned in the later part of Dragon Ball Z and Super. Technique over power. Yes, at the time Kefla was more powerful because it's a fusion, but Gohan managed to beat her because of his extensive battle experience. Bro, my man has been fighting world-ending threats since he was 4! Incoming! Mind you, he was 5 when he was beating the living shit out of Frieza. And I like the fact that it ended up in a tie because it makes it believable enough for me, and I'm good with that. Technique over power. That's one of the things that I love the most about the original Dragon Ball, and I want to see more of it. I'm 100% willing to sacrifice the sliding Kamehameha as long as you give me that fight. No, but why didn't you dodge this, Gohan? I've seen you dodge a lot of stuff, but not this. You have some explaining to do, buddy. And lastly, I want to see the real way Goku achieves Ultra Instinct, by remembering the teachings of his old masters. One thing that I have been complaining a lot is that Goku seems to be a power-drunk maniac in the last few arcs. Like, he only focuses power, 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 power. Bro, think he Virgil.
I need more power.
Man, I don't want to talk your bitch.
Not only that, but it's such a big emotional moment when Roshi said, "Do you eat well, play well, rest well?" That took me right back to the original Dragon Ball when Roshi was teaching Goku and Krillin how to fight. And also when Goku said, "I am a student from the Turtle School." I almost shed a tear, bro. Absolute cinema. It's one of the things that I love the most about Dragon Ball. I love the fights and the transformations as much as the next guy. But Dragon Ball is also a franchise that has a lot of emotion and character growth, and I want to see more of this. It also makes sense. Ultra Instinct, I don't really see it as a transformation. To me, it's more of a technique, which is not only about raw power, but also letting your body take control to dodge your enemy's attacks, hence the name Ultra Instinct. And this is a perfect moment to go to the things that I don't want to see in the anime. And for starters, the last point, the fucking Ultra Instinct. The way he gets it in the anime is goddamn stupid. So, okay, he does the Spirit Bomb, right? Nothing wrong so far, except the fact that he gets help from people who already got eliminated, which, mind you, it's illegal and he should have gotten them killed. That's one. Second, the Spirit Bomb is a technique you use to kill your enemy. And guess what? Killing was also illegal. 2 fucking reasons why it's stupid. And third of all, he absorbs the Spirit Bomb, and that's what gets him to achieve Ultra Instinct. So you're telling me that a technique that consists of relaxing and letting your body take control, because that's why it's called Ultra Instinct, is a technique that you unlock by absorbing more power! Bro, even the explanation Whis gives us sounds like something my buddy Julian would make up when we were in 3rd grade.
Most likely, Goku has used the Spirit Bomb's energy to replenish his exhausted body. It was the start, a match that lit a much greater power within. When the Spirit Bomb exploded so close to him, its tempestuous power coursed into Goku and smashed into his own energy, which he was already pushing to its max.
Shut your fucking mouth!
It just doesn't make any sense. It's fucking dumb. It's stupid. I don't want to see that on the anime. Get rid of that shit. I don't know why Toei's been so obsessed with the concept of Goku absorbing the Spirit Bomb, because this is not the first time they have done that. They also did that in the Android 13 movie.
I was programmed to kill your ass, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
You're just a slave, a pawn with no free will of its own, is that it?
Boss, segregation, hatred. Is that what you've done with your free will, boy? Don't you lecture me with your $30 haircut.
And it's dumb, it's stupid. I don't like it. Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaioken. Oh my god! You guys have no idea how much I despise that goddamn transformation. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw it, I was really hyped. Kaioken has always been one of my favorite techniques. The fact that you're actually destroying your body in order to obtain more power was always so metal to me. It went hard. But the reason I don't like it in Super is because when you pay attention to how the Kaioken worked originally, it just blow things out of proportion. So in Dragon Ball Z, when Goku uses Kaioken times 2, the way that it works is that it multiplies his power level by 2. And when he does triple Kaioken, triple the power, 4 times Kaioken, quadruple the power, that's how it works, right? But when we go to Super Saiyan Blue, it's another story because the power level is way higher. Unfortunately, we don't have a number because power levels just don't exist anymore. But if you know math, you know that the higher the number is, the farthest it's gonna go when you multiply it, right? So you're telling me that Jiren was fighting against 20 Super Saiyan Blue Gokus, because that's the Kaioken he was using. He was using times 20, and he couldn't even get a punch in. It wasn't even a balanced fight. Jiren was straight up mopping the floor with Goku with the power of 20 Super Saiyan Blues plus the buff that Kaioken gives by default, and Goku didn't stand any chance. I'm sorry, but that's fucking dumb. There is no way that works. Just get rid of it. It doesn't work and it will never work. It's better for Super if that form just disappears. Same with Super Saiyan Rage Trunks. That's another transformation that we don't need. Yes, it's a bit painful to me. Trunks happens to be my favorite character, I mean, who could have guessed? But realistically, it doesn't make any sense that Trunks gets the power of the gods out of the blue. So yeah, we do need to get rid of it. And besides, the transformation that he gets, like the Evolved Super Saiyan 2, I don't remember what it's called, but basically is a transformation that is more powerful than Super Saiyan 3. That transformation was pretty sick, so I would like to see that in the anime, it's okay. And also get rid of Evolution Vegeta. And that is one thing that I really hated about Super. They just made up transformations out of the blue to hype people up, and that doesn't work on me. I'm sorry, okay? It doesn't hype me up because there's no reason behind it. Ultra Instinct is actually a really cool concept. Like I said before, Goku is learning to chill the fuck out and remember how to actually fight and achieving that form that lets his body take control. I like that because there's meaning behind it. What's the meaning behind Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaioken? Oh, just use more power. What's the meaning behind Super Saiyan Rage? Oh, I had a tantrum, so now I hit harder. No. It worked with Super Saiyan because at the time, people did not expect that. Nowadays, the concept of a Super Saiyan is so common that basically everybody knows it, even people who don't watch Dragon Ball. But back then, it really seemed like Goku was about to lose. And not only that, but it's something that had a lot of build-up. They were talking about the legend of the Super Saiyan, the whole saga. So people didn't know what to expect. And when we finally saw it, they didn't even need to say what's the Super Saiyan. We just saw it and we thought, yeah, that's it, that's the one. But that's why it was good. It had build-up, it had a meaning. He lost his friend and it was relevant to the story. Super Saiyan Blue plus Kaioken, Super Saiyan Rage, and an Evolution Vegeta is just pulled out of nowhere. There wasn't any build-up to it, there wasn't nothing. You're just pulling new transformations out of nowhere for the sake of hyping people up. That's it. We don't need that. So, get rid of them. Another thing that I don't want to see, I don't want to see any filler. Dragon Ball Z did had a lot of decent filler for what it was, but Dragon Ball Super's filler was atrocious, okay? I don't need to see Goten and Trunks go to a fucking river to get a lotion for Vidal skins. I don't give a shit. And don't even get me started on whatever the fuck this was. And to be fair, this one is pretty much guaranteed. Okay, I take it back. This one was pretty funny. Another thing that I don't want to see, and I'm pretty sure I'm not getting this one, but I can dream. I want to see a different ending from the Future Trunks saga, because that ending, it was bad. Okay, spoiler alert if you don't know, I guess. Okay, so what happens in the ending of the Future Trunks arc, the Goku Black arc? So after they kill Zamasu, turns out Zamasu's not dead, and he like takes over the sky or something. I'm not really sure. In the manga, he basically becomes Agent Smith Matrix. He came back from the dead and he took over everything. So the only solution that Goku could think of is to call the Senosama. I don't know how you guys call him in English, but yeah, the Omni King, is that it? I'm not sure. But the American football head guy comes and wipes out everything. The whole timeline, done. And when Goku and the rest go back to the present, what happens to Trunks and Might? They decide to go to another version of their future timeline before what happened with Zamasu, and then they would end up living in a world that by default has other two versions of themselves. And that ending it's not good. I don't like it at all. I would like them to reward that ending. I don't know if they find another way to get rid of Zamasu, or Zamasu just dies when he's supposed to die, you know? Because they just did that for the sake of showing how terrifying Sama can be, and I don't feel like it's necessary, you know? You know what you could do? You could do like, oh, maybe when they were going back to the future, something went wrong, and the machine actually left them in the same timeline, in our timeline, but in another planet or something, and now they have to make their lives there, you know? I'm giving you ideas. Hire me! And yeah, that's basically it. Can't think of anything else right now. If you wanna see a longer video of me talking about exactly why I think Dragon Ball Super sucks, let me know in the comments. I may do that one next. Thank you for watching. Adiós.